Hey everybody, Sandman here. I have a big announcement to make. On June 22nd, in about a week and a half, I'm going to be holding a lockpicking competition. It's going to be Saturday, June 22nd at Tribe City Comics and Games in South Austin, Texas. I have a locksport group that meets at Tribe City Comics and Games once a month. Bat City Locksport is hosting the competition. I am looking for the best 2 lockpickers in the state of Texas to join me and 2 other lockpickers that I have chosen personally as a 5-member competition team to go compete on September 21st at the Texas Locksmith Association Convention lockpicking competition. Last year, I went to the TLA, the Texas Locksmith Association Convention, and competed in their leashy lockpicking competition, and I had a blast. I filmed it and I put it up on my YouTube channel. They liked it so much that they actually took my video and they pinned it to the top of their Facebook group, and they absolutely loved seeing non-locksmiths competing in their lockpicking competition. They love seeing people that have a passion for locks, lockpicking, locksport, and hopefully we can build that bridge between locksmithing and locksport and maybe use this as a recruiting tool to get people interested in the career of locksmithing, which is something I think would be amazing. So they reached out to me in February and asked me if I would like to come back and that they would be willing to put on a legitimate lockpicking competition as well as leashy. And I said, definitely. And they said, do you have people that would like to come with you? And I said, man, I could bring you 50 lockpickers. And they said, no, don't do that. We want to actually limit the convention to 50 competitors because they want to have room for the locksmiths. And I said, if you'll just hold me 5 spots, I will bring you some really amazing representatives of our sport and our hobby to come compete with me. So they are holding 5 spots for me, and it is my job to pick 4. I have hand chosen 2 lockpickers already. Lily and Dan, both are members of East End Locksport Group in Houston, Texas, and I'm holding this competition to find the other 2. I don't know where they will come from. I don't know if they will come from Longhorn Lockpickers, if they will come from the Houston Locksport Group, they'll come from East End Locksport Group in Houston, or Alamo City Locksport, or Bobcat Locksport, or maybe they are just a nomad and they don't have their own Locksport group at all. That's what I want to find. I want to find the best 2 lockpickers in Texas. What do they get out of that? What do you get by being on the team? 1, you get your entrance fee waived. It's a $50 entrance fee, and that entrance fee is being paid for by none other than Jimy Longs. Jimy Longs is our primary sponsor. He's paying $250 out of his own pocket to send 5 of us to go compete at the convention in September. He is also going to be supplying everybody in the group upwards of to $100 worth of tools. So when those tools become available, or as he makes them in his garage by hand, I don't know, but he's got us covered. We are good on tools. The second sponsor that is going to be helping the group is going to be Multipick. Multipick reached out to me and asked if there was something that they could do to help our group. And I said, can you give us the best dimple picks that money can buy? And they said, yeah. They sent me $1,000 worth of dimple picks to disperse amongst the members of the team. So I have 5 sets of the Lock Noob Community Edition dimple pick set that retails for $160. I have 5 of these to give to each member of the group, and each member of the group will also receive full sets of Jimy Longs. I do not currently have the Jimy Longs in hand. Those will become available in the coming weeks. However, for the 2 members that do make it onto the team on that Saturday, June 22nd, a week and a half from now, you will be given your dimple picks from Multipick. Thank you so much, Jimy Longs, for offering to pay for our entrance fees and offering to send us tools. We really appreciate it. I wanted a North American tool manufacturer to sponsor the team because I wanted it to align with our identity and everything with us. I didn't want to find a foreign manufacturer to supply us tools. I wanted the members on the team to have an opportunity to represent an American company so that they can have a chance at being influencers themselves, building up their social media, and maybe use this as a jumping off point to be something like a professional lock picker. Wouldn't that be cool? Because when you're sponsored, you're professional in my opinion. So then I also wanted to reach out to Multipick because I told Multipick, hey, I have a primary sponsor. If you're comfortable with working with another manufacturer, I would really love to have you guys on as a sponsor. And they said, yeah, we don't mind. We love Jimy Longs. And they said, what do you need? And I said, well, Jimy Longs is giving us the lock picks. Would you be willing to give us the dimple picks in case we come across the dimple locks? Because dimple locks are in North America and they may throw us some curveballs. And yeah, sure. Send me $1,000 worth of tools. Thank you so much, Multipick, for sponsoring our team. So I'm just very fortunate to have these connections in the community, but also the connections that I've made in the community. These people are not seeking exclusivity. Jimy Longs loves Multipick tools. He's like, man, Multipick makes great tools. And I reached out to Multipick and like, yeah, Jimy Longs has great tools. And they were totally willing to work with each other. And I'm very fortunate for that. So thank you to the both of you for sponsoring our group. I have a couple recommendations that I would like to throw out there for anybody that is interested in coming to compete. Number one, I need you to be available on September 21st for the convention. You have to have that Saturday available. I've talked to several very good lock pickers in the state of Texas, and they were like, I want to compete, but I don't know if I'm free. I understand. I need this to be a priority in your life just for one day if you're going to be on the team. That being said, I will probably make note of alternative options of people that maybe take third and fourth and fifth place, so that way they can be alternates on the team in case something happens, somebody gets injured, somebody gets sick, COVID, what have you. So I need you to be available September 21st and to be able to make it to Pflugerville. I won't be able to cover the cost of your gas, but everything else is paid for. So Pflugerville, Texas, which is just northeast of Austin. Condition number 2, I am going to have a lock that everybody is going to be required to pick prior to competing on the day of June 22nd. There are a lot of people in Texas that are enthusiastic about locksport and they are enthusiastic about competing in lockpicking. However, I need a bare minimum skill level for you to take a spot to compete on that day. It would be very ill-advised if I had 50 people show up, but only 20 of them actually can pick a lock higher than yellow or orange belt level. My minimum requirement to compete on that day is going to be a yellow belt lock that everybody will have to pick. And I'll just give you 2 minutes to pick the lock. If you can't pick it in 2 minutes, please try again next year. For those of you that make it past the yellow belt lock to compete on that day, then I'm going to have a very large emphasis on green belt level locks for the competition. So if you are not comfortable with green belt level locks, then I would like to encourage you to come back next year. I do not know what locks are going to be thrown at us at the TLA. I don't think they're going to be high security, but I am going to expect locks with the security pins. And green belt level locks are the apex of where locks with security pins end and locks with security features begin. So I would like to encourage anybody that's going to compete, if you struggle with American lock, if you struggle with pack lock, or if you struggle with Brinks 5-pin or commando lock, that this may not be the competition for you. But if you can pick a lock with spool pins and serrated pins, then by all means, please, I want to meet you. I want to give you $150 worth of tools on that day, and I want to have a fun time at this competition. That's all I have. I can't think of anything else to tell you guys. Most people in Texas already know about this competition. I've already made it known, but I'm coming to find out since I started my own Locksport group that there is a lot of people in Texas that are active in Locksport, but they're not active in the Locksport meetup groups. Recently, I held my very first Bat City Locksport meetup last month, and I had a green belt level lockpicker drive in from Dallas area with his wife. They were both amazing. And then I had a legitimate blue belt level lockpicker who's working on high security locks at the moment. He's an actual blue belt on the Reddit and Discord, but yet I've never met him or seen him anywhere else before. So I think it's cool that these groups bring people out, and I think it's awesome that that it's going to be interesting to see who comes out to compete. You don't have to be better than a green belt to compete, but I would like you to be at least a minimum somewhere between a yellow and a green belt to come to this competition. For anybody that just wants to show up and watch and help me run the competition, you're more than welcome. This is not going to be a typical meetup. This is going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to be teaching a class on lockpicking. I'm going to be using the entire 3 hours to hold the competition, and then we'll just hang out and talk and then pick locks, and then we'll probably go to Torchy's Tacos afterwards and eat some tacos. So if you're interested, I'm hoping to see you there, and I'm looking forward to competing with you in September against all of the locksmiths using Jimy Longs tools and Multipick. That's all I have for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.